Fortune telling and legal defense work might seem like complete opposites, but in the American South of the early 1900s, one remarkable woman proved they could go hand in hand to fight for justice. My father, Oscar Wallis, and my mother, Frances Wallis, made a visit they this woman.
That's such a fascinating combination. You're talking about Mayhayley Lancaster, right? The woman who rewrote the rules of what was possible in rural Georgia?
Exactly right. Born in 1875 in Heard County, she became an incredible force for change at a time when women weren't even allowed to vote. What's striking is how she used both traditional authority and formal education to make her mark.
Well, Andrew, what jumps out to me is her involvement in the Leo Frank case in 1915. That must have taken extraordinary courage.
Oh man, you're not kidding. Here's this Jewish factory manager accused of murder, and anti Semitism is at a fever pitch in Georgia. Most lawyers wouldn't touch the case, but Lancaster steps right up as one of his few public defenders.
And she was doing this while maintaining her reputation as the Oracle of the Ages, right? How did she balance those two very different worlds?
That's what makes her story so compelling. She understood that justice sometimes needs different languages. In the courtroom, she spoke about legal precedent in her community. She said the language is that of folk wisdom and fortune telling. Both were tools for helping people find justice.
So you're saying she was kind of like a cultural translator?
Bull's eye, and that translation skill came in especially handy in 1926 when she became the first woman to run for the Georgia legislature. Her platform was, well, revolutionary for the time, that better rural roads, improved public education, and get this, she wanted to require doctors to deliver babies regardless of payment.
That healthcare initiative sounds incredibly modern, like something we'd be debating today.
Well, that's because she was seeing these issues firsthand. She worked as a midwife, so she knew exactly how many families were struggling to access medical care. She was teaching in local schools, so she understood the education system's shortcomings.
And then there's that fascinating John Wallis murder trial in 1947 when she was already 71 years old.
Oh, yeah, that case was so significant, it ended up becoming both a book and a movie. I mean, when June Carter Cash plays you in a TV movie, you know you've made an impact. But here's what's interesting. By that point, Lancaster had become this almost mythical figure in Georgia.
You know what strikes me? She never lost touch with her community despite all her success.
That's right. She stayed rooted in Heard County her whole life. Even as her reputation grew, she kept teaching, kept helping with births, kept reading fortunes. She understood that real change happens at the grassroots level.
So, what do you think was her most lasting impact?
I think she could show that apparent contradictions can be strengths. She was this educated professional who believed in fortune telling, a progressive who respected tradition, a formal lawyer who spoke the language of folk wisdom. She proved you don't have to choose between different parts of who you are.
That feels incredibly relevant to today's conversations about identity and authenticity.
Right? And when she was laid to rest at Caney Head Methodist Church in 1955, it was the perfect symbol of how she managed to push boundaries while staying true to her roots. She showed us that sometimes the most effective agents of change are the ones who can bridge different worlds.
Well, that's quite a legacy to leave behind.
Indeed, it is, and maybe that's the real lesson here, that justice doesn't always wear a suit and tie. Sometimes it comes wearing multiple hats. speaking numerous languages and reading fortunes in between court appearances.